This is an area of a human body with Morgellons. We're on Harald Kautz's channel. Harald Kautz fell a black goo video. And I got some pretty interesting mails that I'm going to try to respond to in the next few videos that I thought were that deserved a response and a reply about. So I'll get to that, but first I wanted to look in at some of this. I'm just going to put a couple filters on. This is an area under a microscope of Morgellons, and I know that people are having a hard time. People are having to have a hard time with a lot of the things that I'm saying and how I say them, and I'm going to do the best that I can to try pointing at things and show you different things that will try to help you. The system's full of imagery from the veil to the ground, and that imagery is feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast over and over and over again. The system shows us faces and faces only, and I say that, and then in the next breath I have to explain that I have seen some body imagery, and I have also seen some images that fall outside the feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast, but it's not very much. Every angle of my camera is going to change the imagery for you, and what it is it's all based on the visual part of it, at least anyway, is based on lights and shadows and sound resonance, and smell and other senses are very similar, actually. Bouncing sine waves around and bouncing sound waves around is almost, it's just very similar to me in my mind, to what I'm doing visually here for you. I'm going to try to give you a couple that'll be fairly clear to you right now, just off the top of my head. And when I'm looking over the camera onto the screen, I will see other images more clearly because I'm at a different angle. So I have to do is I have to get my head down in the camera in order to make sure I'm pointing to you at things that will be more clear to you at this particular angle that the camera is at here. Because as soon as I pick this camera up in my hand and move it, it's going to change the angle and you'll lose a lot. Eye, nose, mouth with the tongue sticking out of that image right there. Just trying to circle them for you. There are tens of thousands of images in here. The images are really good because he's added contrast. He's got lights going on in here, which are causing lights and shadows under the microscope, which is another reason why scientists should have found all this fucking a long fucking time ago. I think part of the problem would probably be they would be afraid they'd lose all credibility. You can't buck the fake system. The fake system's got to keep running. Eye, nose, and mouth of that one. It's image within image within image, so that of course works out to be a mouth of a larger image, and so on and so forth. I'm just trying to give you a few. I'm going to give you some fairly small ones. Let me see. What I'm going to go for next. Okay, so I like that one. I'm pretty sure you'll get an eye on that one. And yeah, you should be able to get an eye on that one. Let's see. It's any direction is another thing. I'm keeping this camera what you would call up and down, and that would be left. That would be, the other way over here would be the right. Layers is another thing. There's always going to be layers. Even when you're looking at grass and stones and rocks and things like that, which is pretty fucking cool. If you give your eyes time to adjust, you'll start seeing the different layers. Like in here, you've got some small ones in here. Okay, eye, nose, and mouth of this one here. Okay, there's one right here. Eye, nose, and mouth open. Okay, but now when you look in the mouth of that, here's its upper lip, here's its lower lip, and then you look closely, and you got eye, nose, and mouth of another image in here, and it goes that way all the way down, and then that's broken down with this white color being the eye, nose, and mouth. The white color there. Now, if you erase that, get it out of your mind, you can come down here to these dark eyes, and you got eye, forehead now, a little bit of scruff going around it like this. It's in the rodent family. Tiny little nose right here, okay, of this other image. You have to let your eyes work and break them down. Here's a really nice human face of an old man, kind of eye, nose, mouth, beard. You can see his forehead, see his hairline, see he's got some, even a little hair going on over here of that human face, right? Let's look around a little more. There's one here, it's another rodent on the small side, but eye, nose, and mouth, again, open of that. Looks rodent. Who the fuck's this? Hold on. Alright, I got interrupted. So now I'm all distracted. So let's just do this. Let's start going in on this. Harald, Kautz, black goo. We're looking at here is more gallons. And I'm going to try to show you, Harald, that it's the imagery is everywhere in the system. You can tell what has had human influence or not, so I'll find out if there's anything in here with human influence while I'm looking around. And I'm going to try to separate images. I've got a red filter on the camera. I don't really need it, but I noticed that it helps me to show others the imagery. I'm going to start sweeping my camera slowly, doing small stops when I think that I'll find something that will stand out at people. Usually like 10 of them in each frame. I'm going to change my depths. I'm going to go in deeper and come back out like this. Remind you where we are. And I might see something and decide to go in on it. Movement, I'll be fairly slow. I could put the telescopic lens is probably a good idea to do on this one too. Because it's smaller, I can zoom in better. All right. Okay, so I had gotten some messages about some things that I said in the last few parts of this series, and I'll try to address them. Trying to remember their names. Iggy? He goes by Iggy? and he was straightening me out on the timelines of dinosaurs. So I guess I went back and I watched that video just to let you know, Iggy. I did go back and look at that, and you're right. I did make it sound that way, as if I was making claim that dinosaurs roamed the earth 24 to 34,000 years ago, and you wanted to point out that we're talking millions of years ago when you say dinosaurs were walking the earth. So I'd hate to apologize for anything, because really I talk so fucking fast and am going so fast, and my lips cannot even keep up with how fast my brain is flying. So I make mistakes when I'm talking about things. In that particular moment, I'm pretty sure I was just being sarcastic. I wasn't thinking of it literally that dinosaurs were around 24 to 34,000 years ago. What I was pointing out was I was talking about different programs that we have had in the past. So I can look back in our present program of, let's say, the last 6,000 years, and I can look at this false history that's written for us in all the books. And I can look at all that false history to find out, because I do have interest in it. I do read books, and these books that I'm reading are all bullshit. When I go through them, I'm really just picking through the bullshit stories. But I'm gonna, in future videos, maybe not in this series, but I'm gonna read some of this garbage that we call history. None of it has been factual, and you can read between the lines of it, and when you see the system, you're gonna realize it's all nonsense. So for me to make claims of 24,000 34,000 years ago dinosaurs were walking here, that was not my point. I don't think dinosaurs ever existed. There's no evidence of them ever existing. If there was, I'd have no problem with it. I don't give a fuck. My point is that there's no evidence they ever existed. It's another bullshit story that for some reason everyone buys into, of false history. The same way that we today build false history with most of the shit that we do. Uncontrollable pandemic, my ass. But yet it's going to go down in history that the Lion Mama Kona 19 virus was a pandemic that happened in 2020 and went on for years, and the whole population, entire Earth, had to be vaccinated for this thing and all this shit. It's not, none of it's true. None of it's really, we'll make it happen. We'll bring it to life. Look at the imagery. We will make it that be false history, but doesn't mean it really happened. You find the lies. So what's the lie about it? Was it a lie that the entire Earth went and got vaccinated? No, they're going to do it. They're all going to go get this vaccination and put more poison into their bodies based on many false narratives, many lies. For example, okay, it's a pandemic, right? The Lion Mama coronavirus is a pandemic to us right now. That's going to go down in the history books that way. But when you really look at the situation, more people die every year in car accidents than die of the Lion Mama Kona 19 virus. So therefore, why would we not be calling automobile accidents a pandemic, right? And this goes for anywhere the cars are being driven. This has happened. This is with airbags and crumple zones and all this shit, whatever. It's still more deaths. Cancer. More people die every year of cancer than die of the Lion Mama Kona 19 virus. No one's looking at that. No one's going to talk about it. more people die every year of obesity than the Lion Mama COVID-19 virus, but we don't call it a pandemic. Nobody's freaking out over it and saying we got to stop. Drug overdose, heroin overdose. You can break the drug overdoses down in a whole bunch of different ways. Heroin overdose, right? Think about that one. More die of heroin overdose every year than the Lion Mama. So we don't call that a pandemic either, do we? No. We always say it's almost ready to get to a pandemic, but we never get to a pandemic. They never shut the entire earth down based on our heroin addiction issues or anything, right? But yet it's going to go down in the history books as a pandemic. So hopefully you guys are catching some of this imagery. It's okay. I'm going to go in on this video again later. I'm just digitally collecting the electromagnetic nanocarbon from this area that Harald is telling us. I don't know for sure, but Harold's telling us this is someone's with Morgellons, and what we're looking at is the Morgellons fibers. And I tell you what, it's all part of the system, because all the imagery is there. The imagery is the same. The imagery is the feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. So over and over and over again, you should be able to see this. I'm showing it to you right now as I'm talking. And I'll come back to do some more of this, because I'm going to go in on the... Should I just do it now? Maybe I will just do it now. Hold on a minute. All right, I'll come back to this one too. I'll come back to this one, but I think I got enough to as a research vid of what so I can show you guys what I'm going to try to show you. Yeah, it should be plenty. Hold on. Okay, and Harald is about to... Let's see if I got the volume down. Let's turn the volume down. Okay, I'm going to hit play on the video, and I'm trying to get up to another... But this is all going to be fun to go in on, actually. I'll go in on all that, too. We should be able to have some fun with some of this. But I wanted to get to a certain area. Hold on, let me find it. Okay, it's coming up. Hold on. Oh. Okay, it's coming up over here. I don't think it shows his face again, so let's just wait. Okay. So at this part of your video, Harald, you got what you're showing us in the camera, and this goes to what this gentleman Iggy, if he's, I don't know if he's, you never know who anybody really is, but Iggy, you had a question about this as well. What Harald is calling here fibers, and I'm telling you, is nanometallus. They're nanometallus, and they're everywhere, and you're not able to see the nanos. You're seeing the electrodes. So again, something else I fucked up on when I was trying to explain to people. I thought I was making it clear, but I guess not. You're not able to see the nanos with the human eye. You have to find other ways to blow them up, even under a microscope, even under a hydrogen microscope or any fancy equipment. You're not able to see the nanometallus. And if you're going to see them under them, but then at the same time, I'm showing them to you in a bottle, right? I'm showing them to you in my little container, and that might get confusing because I'm blowing them up with the coconut oil. Otherwise, you would not see them. It's very important that everybody get on the ball with the coconut oil. I don't know why. You know, that's for other people to figure out. I'm just letting you know the coconut oil, blows them up. So what Harold has here is a bunch of electrodes that are all floating around. There's probably BIOS 2 electrodes actually that are floating around in here, but we'd have to look and see which ones have legs. Electrodes do not have legs, so that's the easiest identification from a distance that I can get. But I can tell you this: the system is working in here. The system's working, and the imagery's all in here. So let's look at it a little before the video ends. Okay, and this is the same thing you can do with the raindrops on the window. You can do the raindrops on the windshield of the car and do the same thing. The clouds, there's certain cloud days where I can give you, you can cut the imagery out just like this looks, the same way this looks. This is that, you know, I can get to the large one, see, we'll look at it this way. Now, this under here is plant life, and I think it's pretty cool because this is what I was just saying too about the imagery playing in with each other. This is plant life. This is all what he's calling the fibers. I'm telling you is an electromagnetic metallus. It's the electromites. And this will play into the imagery. Look, watch. Watch. That plays in with the imagery of all the other imagery around it. It's all in the system. It's all one system. It's a beautiful thing. Okay? If you're not seeing it that good, don't worry about it. I'm going to come in and get it real good for you later. And I'll point at it, and then you'll say, how the fuck was I missing that? I think. I think that's what you'll think to yourself. Okay, see the common thread? Feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast when you start seeing these images? Right? I mean, look at a human face here, right? Eye, nose, mouth, looking to your left, right? Looking out to the left. Then you go to the next one. Eye, nose, mouth, human face, right? You can even see his hairline and hairdo and everything like that, right? Then it's image within image, so I can, out of that, I can pull eye, nose, and mouth of that image there. And then I can come scrolling across and grab the rest of them and keep on going all the way through. And this is only in one direction, by the way. The system does not think like us. It's not the same. So up here, eye, nose, and mouth of another human face with the kind of the beard going on and everything like that. I can start cropping images out for you. Again, we're just working in what you're calling the fibers. The nanofibers, you're showing them off and reflecting them with a with that light. Eye, nose, and mouth, right, of that image, that face right there. A lot of human faces in here. Human, beast. Okay, I'm going to change my lights and shadows up. I'm going to change my direction of lights and shadows and come in and grab you more imagery. Same place, we're in the same spot. I'm just changing up my lights and shadows. Okay, and then he's got this in motion, so I'm going to hold right here. And let's see if you got it. Yep, see it moving? See what we're looking at here? Okay. Okay. gonna try to get you a row, like right here. Just come through and grab a row of them. What I was saying a few minutes ago was that angles, size, it doesn't matter. They don't care about up, down, left, right, backward, forward. The system don't care. For your eyes, makes a difference, because you can pull lights into the camera in different ways, or into your eyes for that matter if you're not using a camera. For example, I can get this one right here, eye, nose, and mouth. I can get this, you can see his hairline up here, you see his forehead right there. But I can get him better at this angle, but unfortunately the camera's upside down. I'm looking at the camera right now going like this. You're looking at the camera up and down this way. I'm seeing it this way, and that's when the lights pull in best for that particular image. But unfortunately, you're looking at everything in another direction. It takes a little bit of time to learn how to use the lights and shadows. I mean, it takes a few months to maybe sooner for some. I don't know. I would imagine people that are good with photography would be a lot better at this than I am. I'm just trying to find ways to show it to you so that you can go see it for yourselves. Okay, so also, what I could do is change up light, color spectrum. There's with no light. I can do, no color spectrum, just regular. Matter of fact, it's kind of good to do this sometimes because the filters do take away clarity. They take away some of the detail with the filters because I got these cheap plastic filters. So it is nice to just run it through like this sometimes and then put the filters on later. Like right now you can see this one a lot better just in the right up and down way, so fuck my stick. Alright. Get on the screen. Eye, nose, and mouth. Hairline, forehead, eyebrows, everything's apparent. Everything's apparent. The imagery is very clear. I try to sweep it back and forth both ways, bringing you in the light, especially when I'm trying to concentrate on one image. There you go. Looking right up at you now. You can see his hairline and everything very clearly. And then as I'm scrolling this way, it's going to be image within image within image, so we could pull in a lot of other images. But rather than confuse people with their eyes that way, I a lot of times will pull right to the next image that I think you might catch, like which might be this one here. Using the same eye, mind you, same eye of this other eye here, come over here, angle my camera so I can get you the lights and shadows for eye. No, I lost him, hold on. There he is, there he comes. There he is. Am I going to use that eye or not? No, that's the angle where he's using that. There he is. Okay. Eye, nose, and mouth. And then I can angle down. And then the eyes fall closer together. Eye, nose, and mouth. And then I can come out a little bit. And we can go, if we can separate this. Let's see, what am I going to separate it at? I'm not come out this far. Otherwise it is too collaged, I think. Eye, nose, and mouth open of that one. And we got a large one here. Eye, nose, mouth open down here. I'm going to throw this green filter on. I'm already at 32 minutes. Alright, let's try the green filter and let's come down with it. Let's see what we get. If no, if you guys are watching this and you're not catching the imagery, don't worry. I'm going to, in the next 10 or 15 videos or so, start going in on these research vids, and I'll be sitting there just pointing them all out to you. They're everywhere. And the whole time I'm scrolling around on this, he could be taking advantage of me pointing this out earlier, eye, nose, and mouth of that human face right there, and just keep an eye on it, and you'll see all the different changes that that area makes as I'm doing this. And again, angles, colors, light spectrum. This almost looks like body imagery. I wonder if it is. Hmm. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to make out this area, see if it's body imagery right now. This face right here, this one, if it goes with all this, this body imagery with a little tail back there. I'll have to come back to it. It's almost confirmable body imagery. I'm gonna have to look in on that one. I'm laughing right now to myself though because I'm seeing all these faces so clearly, and it's just amazing how many people will come to the videos and then nobody sees it. Nobody sees that. You know, it's fucking amazing. Okay, well, it's on there. Let's see how much. Can I hit play? Okay. Now you gotta give your eyes a minute to adjust. All the imagery has changed. Still feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. Lights have changed. Everything's changed. Just in that little blip. Okay, the video's gonna end. So I think that's good enough. That's enough research on that one there. I'll be right back with some other one.